want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. This is the second annual Heels and Wheels event. Last year, you may know, we called it High Heels for High Hopes, but we were afraid the gentlemen wouldn't want to keep coming back if we kept it themed high heels only. So we added wheels, because we're in a dealership, right? So heels and wheels, and we're going to do this every year as long as Barry allows us to. And we really have to thank Barry first, because we could not have this event without Barry. He donates his space. He helps us bring in the tables and the tablecloths and everything you see that makes it an event. So we could not do this without Barry. He reached out to all of his service partners and vendors and friends and co-workers to ask them to sponsor and support this event. So again, we could not do it without it.
My name is Sarah Donnersbach, and I'm the chair for the Northeastern Ohio Division of the March of Dimes. So I want to thank everyone for being here, because as well as Barry's support, we certainly couldn't have the event without each of you. And so we want to thank you and recognize each of you for being here, supporting us, and supporting the mission of the March of Dimes. For those that aren't familiar, the March of Dimes seeks to end premature birth, end infant mortality, and end birth defects for children. So that's three very, very important missions, and the funds that we raise tonight, 100% of those dollars are going directly to support the March of Dimes. We do want to thank the sponsors that have been here tonight, as well as our chefs. We have, I don't know why this is sort of in and out, but I'm usually loud enough without a microphone. But we have 5 food stations that are here. Chef John Selleck from Ahuja, UH. His food station's on the other side of the room. However, he's hanging out with our chef from Parma Hospital, Sharon. He has a wonderful cheese, probably my favorite station because I love cheese. And we have Mr. Chicken in the back corner on the other side that's donating. We have the Ridge Manor Banquet Center that has donated, and Vivo that has donated. So we have 5 sponsors that have provided in-kind food without any charge to us. And then beyond that, we have other sponsors. And of course, their cards are listed around the room. So you'll see those sponsors. And if you'll look along the back wall where it has the Buick and GMC, we have the sponsor levels listed. This is sort of a new thing from last year. So you'll note all the shoe levels, the flip-flops, the wingtips, the stilettos, of course, which I'm not wearing tonight. So we want to thank all of our sponsors for supporting our event. And we've actually even today received some additional sponsor dollars. I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, we just want to make sure we mention those sponsors, because they should get as much recognition as we can give them for what they provide for this event. So we do want to mention that a very special thank you to UH Parma Medical Center. They sponsor the FDR Fetal and Maternal Health Award, which Maureen Kyle will help us award shortly. We also want to thank Minge Builders Marketing for their support, and we're grateful to the Parma Chamber, PNC Bank, Ron Smith of Consultative Insurance, the Greater Cleveland Automobile Dealers Association, Century Insurance, and Cars.com, all for being wingtip sponsors. And then, of course, we have our penny loafer sponsors, City of Parma, Friedman Levitt and Associates, Avalon Jewelers, Parma Towing, Creative Connections, and we have Dean and Kathleen DePiro, Mary Ruther, Ruther, Patron Supply Company, and Todd Dressing of Carfax for being flip-flop sponsors. All shoe themed, as you can see. But we could not really do this event with all of our sponsors, and we couldn't have gotten all those sponsors without Barry Axelrod's support. So again, we thank Barry. And we couldn't have really started this event without the help of Mayor Tim DeGeeter from the City of Parma. So we would like to announce, or to ask the mayor to say a few words and tell you why he's so dedicated to the March of Dimes.
Real quick. We neglected one, and I want you to note up here, Marjorie Miller is our chef that has done the pastry chef that has done the tire cake. Last year she did a shoe cake. This year she did the wheels cake. So definitely come up, and we'll be cutting that later. So didn't want to neglect Marjorie.
Thanks, Sarah. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ohio's 7th largest city, the city of Parma, and thank you for spending your time and hopefully your donations here for a great cause, the March of Dimes. I do have a couple of people I do want to recognize, city officials, members of the cabinet that are here. First, Shelley Collins, who's helping out the event. When you walked in, she was the one that handed you tonight's program. She's a cabinet member, as well as Tom and Leanne Weinrich. Tom is our director of personnel. We have Additionally, Mike Culp, as much as he hates us, I'm going to recognize him. He's standing over there in purple along with everybody else who has purple on. We have some additional elected officials. Mark Castleberry, Ward 3 councilperson, joined by his wife Judy. Vito DePiro, Ward 1, joined by his wife Sherry. Our future city auditor, current Ward 4 councilman Brian Day, joined by his wife Colleen. And we have my councilperson, Ward 4 councilwoman-elect Kristen Saban, has joined us here tonight. And I want to thank those elected officials for coming out tonight and helping out with this, what I think is a first-class event. And finally, I want to recognize Nancy Tinsley, who is our CEO of Parma UH. And with this, not only does our hospital give great health care, but they also have quality child care. And they've taken both care of both of my children, Jack and Molly. My wife is here somewhere, although just minutes before we went on, we found out my son's baseball game is at 5:30, not 7:30. So she's in crisis mode somewhere. So if you see Pam, see a woman startled, that's her. Say hello to her. But with that, I want to give a very brief background how important the March of Dimes is personally for me. Prior to being mayor, when I was in the Ohio House of Representatives, I was the co-chair for what is called the Bipartisan Prematurity Caucus, which was sponsored by the March of Dimes. And it was very, very important to me because I can tell you this. Mayor's a great title, but I can tell you dad's a lot better. A lot better title. I love being a dad, love Jack, love my daughter Molly. And so much important work that the March of Dimes has done. And with Sarah, with her involvement, she came to me, I think, a year ago and said, let's do a signature event in Parma. Who do we get involved? First thing I said, let's get the chamber involved, let's get UH, our Parma hospital, and let's get the Axelrod family involved. So I want to give all those folks, especially the Axelrod family, a round of applause for opening up their doors. And again, the March of Dimes, this is a personal event. I spend a lot of time at different events and try to be out in the community, but this one makes me feel really, really good. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight. And before I turn it over to Barry, I just want to thank you and your family. Not only do they sell cars here and make a substantial investment, but they do so much more in our community on that. Barry's involved in a number of committees, our chamber. He was on the Mayor's Town Center Task Force. He's got great energy, and we love having him here at the corner of Pearl and Brook Park. So with that, I'll turn the mic over to my good friend, and we're also a new customer, Barry Axelrod.
Thank you, everybody. You know, people ask me why did I get involved with this event. Well, he asked me to, so we do it. But the fact of the matter is my wife and I had a baby 26 years ago. She was a preemie, and at that time, you know, when you're in a crisis mode and you don't know if your daughter's going to make it or not, they had a drug called surfactant, which was just coming on, and they were actually just testing it. And so she was a test baby, and that surfactant actually saved her life. So with that, you know, that's the reason why we are involved with March of Dimes, because we've personally been touched by preemies, and we want to see, you know, we don't want anybody to have that situation we had. So with that, I would like to introduce Maureen Kyle. She is with longtime newscaster with Channel 3.
Thank you, Barry. I just want to take a moment again to thank everybody who's standing up here right now. Barry Axelrod for opening his doors for all of us. Mayor DeGeeter for being here and helping to organize. Sarah and Lori did a lot of work to get this going for the second year in a row, and I can tell you I was here last year. There's a lot more people here than last year, so it's growing, which is always a good thing. I always say I've been involved with March of Dimes since I was a kid, because my mom's walking around here somewhere, my babysitter tonight. She and I would walk, she would have us walk the neighborhood, and we would collect for the March of Dimes, and so that name always stuck out with me. And my daughter's here too. She was a little bit early. She was not scary early, but she was a little bit early. And so as a mom, I want to thank all of you for being here, for raising money for the March of Dimes. I took my folic acid early this morning. I took my prenatal vitamins, and it's all because a nurse educated me to take those. probably because the March of Dimes did all the research and found that that was very important so many years ago. So I am directly affected by what has been done here. The polio vaccine hasn't been around for, what, 3 decades? Yep. And that's because of the March of Dimes. So we've all had healthy babies in the last 3 decades with no polio, which is wonderful. And the research that goes into everything I'm going through right now, 33 weeks. I'm getting beat up from the inside out, you can't even tell. And, you know, we had newborn screenings, we've had classes, childbirth classes, all of that because of the March of Dimes and the research that they've done. So I thank all of you for all of the work that you're doing. It's hard work to raise a glass of wine and to eat some cookies shaped like high heels. All of this hard work is helping moms in every neighborhood, in every city, but especially right here at home where we have such great hospitals. We have such great children's care too, baby and child care. So thank you for being here tonight on behalf of all of the moms out there. Tonight we also want to honor a particular member of the Parma community whose commitment to babies and whose spirit of caring in this community is deserving very special recognition tonight. I hope I get your name right because you deserve it. Nurse Luda Bidzura has been recognized by her superiors for providing excellent care. She's friendly and outgoing, skilled and competent while being nurturing and present with her patients. Luda is an advocate of skin-to-skin care and a hard worker who dedicates her time and talents to the families at UH Parma Medical Center. She's always focused on her patients and deserves to be recognized as an outstanding nurse for providing informed choices, family support, quality care, education to all of the families expecting and delivering newborns here in Greater Cleveland area. So Luda, I'd love to have you come up. We would love for you to say a few words.
I just wanted to thank everybody for giving me this award. I'm very grateful, and I want to thank March of Dimes for what they're doing in our communities and for all of our babies. I am very grateful. Thank you, and it is truly an honor.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we've mentioned all of the people who have helped out before, but we want to mention them again because really they are making tonight very wonderful. We'd like to thank our food donors, Chef John Selleck from Ahuja Medical Center for the evening's appetizers, Ridge Manor Banquet Center, Vivo Ristorante, Chef Sharon from UH Parma Medical Center, Mr. Chicken, Marjorie Miller with this lovely cake, which will be cut sometime soon. We want to thank the sponsors again, UH Parma Medical Center, Image Builders Marketing, as well as the sponsors. You're going to see their signs all across the party here. And we cannot thank Barry Axelrod enough for opening your doors. Really, this is such a wonderful location to have a great event, and really thank you for everything that you've done. Remember that you can peruse the silent auction items. There's some great items to see and to bid on. Those will close at 7:15, so make sure your name is the last on the list by 7:15. That means you get that item. We'll give you a checkout opportunity to pay for the items and make any direct contributions to March of Dimes that you want to share. Also, we have so many more events with March of Dimes. The next one is Monday, November 9th, Windows on the River. That's the Cleveland Signature Chefs Auction, and it showcases 35 to 40 of the Cleveland's finest chefs, which, as we all know, there are some really good chefs here. So make sure that you check out tickets for that. Guests will bid on live and silent auction packages, and there is a particular goal, $135,000 for that event, so help us reach that goal. Again, to just wrap up, thank you for everybody who has come out, everyone who's donated, everybody who is taking the time. And enjoy the food, enjoy the cake, and enjoy the silent auction items. Bid, bid, bid.
Thank you. And we want to thank Maureen Kyle for being here with us from the YC. Of course, baby Charlotte is here already, but this one is coming soon. So wish her luck if you see her in the crowd. Make sure you wish her luck so that she gets to that 39-week mark, because every baby needs to get to 39 weeks. We know that from all the research done by the March of Dimes. And again, thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget about Kate for the Cleveland Indians. Thank all of the food donors that you see. Make sure you tell them that their food is fantastic. Don't forget to bid on those auction items. And if you want more information about the Chef's event, there are packets on the table. So if you're interested in the Chef's event, please pick one of those up. And don't forget to buy sideboard tickets too. They are $5 a piece or $2 a piece. It's just like a 50-50 raffle. We'll do the first drawing when the board is blank. Thank you all again so much. Thank you to Barry Axelrod, Mayor DeEater,